everyone, let's prevent a solution given this nice algebra problem, which is x subtract 3 to power 6. This is equal to 6 to power 6. So what is the value of x? Now solution, we can begin by expressing this x subtract 3. This can be expressed as x minus 3 to power 3 raised to power 2. Now subtract 6 to power 3 raised to power 2. This is equal to 0. Now, as you can see, this is actually in the form of the difference of two squares expressed as a squared minus b squared, which we can express as a plus b, a minus b. Applying this property, this is the same thing as from what we have here. Our a is x subtract 3, okay, to power 3, and b is basically equal to 6 to power 3. Now, from what we have here, we find that we'll have x, okay, x subtract 3 to power 3 plus 6 to power 3. And also we'll have x subtract 3 to power 3 subtract 6 to power 3. Okay, this is equal to 0. Now here we have two parts here. We have two parts. I can call the first one case 1, which is essentially x subtract 3 to power 3 plus 6 to power 3. This is equal to 0. So let's solve this. So x minus 3 to power 3 plus 6 to power 3. This is in the form of a to power 3 plus b to power 3, which we can express as a plus b, a squared minus ab plus b squared. Okay, so let's proceed. Property, we'll have x plus minus 3 plus 6. Okay, we'll have x subtract 3 to power 2 subtract 6 multiplied by x minus 3 plus 6 squared, which is essentially equal to 36. Okay, so this means this is x plus 3 minus 3 plus 6 is plus 3, and then we have x minus 3 squared, which is x squared, okay, subtract 6x plus negative 3 squared, which is 9, okay, subtract 6x plus 6 times 3, which is 18, plus 36. This is equal to 0. Now from what we have here, we have two parts here. Basically x plus 3, this is equal to 0 as the first part. The second part, we have x to power 2, negative 6x minus 6x, this is negative 12x. Okay, then we have 18 plus 36, which is 54, plus 9. This is basically equal to 63. This is equal to 0. Okay, so the first part here, we'll have a real solution here, the x1, which is equal to negative 3. The second part here, we have a quadratic equation, okay, with a equal to 1, b equal to negative 12, c equal to 63. So let's apply the quadratic formula. So for x2 and x3, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So substituting this, we'll have negatives times negative 12 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is negative 12 squared, which is actually 144, subtract 4, multiplied by 1, multiplied by 63. All of this divided by 2. So here we'll have 12 plus or minus the square root of 144, subtract 4 times 63, this is actually 252, divided by 2. Okay, so let's proceed. We have 12 plus or minus the square root of 144 minus 252 divided by 2. So this is 12 plus or minus the square root of, this is negative 108 divided by 2. So from what we have here, this is the same thing as 12 plus or minus. We can express negative 108 as 36 multiplied by 3 multiplied by negative 1 divided by 2. So this is basically 12 plus or minus the square root of 36, this is equal to 6. Square root of negative 1, this is I. Square root of 3 divided by 2. Okay, so basically here we simplify here, so we'll have 6, okay, plus or minus, this is 3i square root of 3. So we have two complex roots here. That is 6 plus or minus 3i square root of 3. Okay, so this is the two complex roots. Now let's solve case 2. Let's solve case 2, which is basically x subtract 3 to power 3, okay, subtract 6 to power 3, this is equal to 0. This is the second case, so let's solve this. So x minus 3 to power 3 minus 6 to power 3, this is in the form of a to power 3 minus b to power 3, the difference of cubes, which is actually equal to a minus b, a squared, okay, plus ab plus b squared. Let's proceed. This particular property will have a equal to, this is x minus 3, and b equal to 6. Okay, so substituting this, we'll have x subtract 3, okay, subtract 6, then we'll have a squared, which is essentially x minus 3 squared, plus, now we have 6 multiplied by x minus 3 plus 6 squared, which is equal to 36. We have x subtract 9. Okay, here we have x squared subtract, now this is 6x plus 3 negative 3 squared, which is 9, plus 6x subtract 18 plus 36, this is equal to 0. Now here we have two parts again. We have x subtract 9, this is equal to 0. That's the first part, and that means that x4, this is equal to 9. Okay, and we have the second part, which is x to power 2. We have negative 6x plus x, this simplifies. Then plus, we have negative 18 plus 36, which is 18 plus 9, this is equal to 27, this is equal to 0. So we have two parts here. So the first part is x4 is equal to 9, and then we have x to power 2 plus 27, this is equal to 0. Okay, now from what we have here, we have x to power 2 plus 27, this is equal to 0. So that means that x to power 2, this is equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 27. Okay, so that means that x is equal to plus or minus, now this is the square root of, this is the same thing as 9 times 3 times negative 1. And that means that x is equal to plus or minus the square root of, this is 3i square root of 3. So that x is equal to plus or minus square root 3i square root of 3. Now this is again two complex roots. Okay, two complex roots. Therefore, solutions, that is x1 is equal to negative 3, x2, x3, this is basically equal to 6 plus or minus 3i square root of 3. And then we have x4, this is basically equal to 9. And then we have x5, x6, this is equal to plus or minus 3i square root of 3. Now these are the 6 solutions. that we have from this algebra problem. So kindly follow the steps, like this video and subscribe.